Hello students, this is Viral Teacher. Today we will learn and understand a new topic in English Balbhati for Standard 4. Lesson number 35, The King of the Golden River, Part 2. In this lesson we will learn Part 2 of the story, new words and their meanings, moral of the story. The King of the Golden River, written by John Ruskin, is a mysterious story. It shows how kindness finally restores the area to its natural beauty. Children, in the previous part, we have already seen the various characters of the story. There were three brothers, Schwartz, Hans, and Gluck. We also saw about the southwest wind, who causes a storm to ruin the entire valley and permits no more rain to fall. So, the valley becomes a wasteland. Now we will continue with the story. Let us see what happens next. As mentioned earlier, the southwest wind was true to his word. He did not return to the treasure valley after that night. Neither did any other wind. So there was no rain. Nothing grew in the treasure valley anymore. The brothers made no profit. The wicked brothers then began to make money by selling gold. They moved to the city and became goldsmiths. They melted in a furnace the gold articles they had. They mixed a lot of copper in it and sold the mix as pure gold. Again, they made poor Gluck work in a furnace while they spent all the money on themselves. Soon all the gold in the house was spent. Only one thing was left, a beautiful golden mug that belonged to Gluck. Gluck's uncle had given it to him when he was a baby. Gluck used to drink both milk and water from the mug. A strange, bearded face was delicately carved on the mug. Gluck was very fond of this mug. He did not want to part with it, but his wicked brothers only laughed at him and threw the mug in the furnace. They asked Gluck to pour the gold when the mug was melted, and they went out on some wicked enterprise. Children, here wicked enterprise means wicked activities. Sadly, Gluck sat down to watch over the mug being melted. But strangely afterwards, he began to hear a voice singing from the furnace. Gluck lifted the lid of the crucible, and what did he see? The face of his old bearded friend on top of the melted gold. Children, crucible means a container in which something is heated to a high temperature. Here, the mug was heated in the crucible. Come, Gluck, my boy, said the voice from the crucible. Pour me out, I am too hot. Gluck was too astonished. But he took hold of the crucible and tilted it to pour the gold. Tilted means to move into a position where one side is higher than the other. Instead of gold, a golden dwarf came out of the pot. Golden dwarf means an imaginary creature that looks like a small man. His face was the face carved on Gluck's mug. Gluck was very surprised to see all this. Pray, sir, said Gluck, rather hesitatingly, were you my mug? Now children, here Gluck is already surprised, and when he saw the dwarf coming out, he said to him, pray, sir. Pray, sir means please, sir. He also asked, were you my mug? Now let's see what the golden dwarf answered. I am the king of what you call the golden river, the golden dwarf told Gluck. He also added that another stronger king had turned him into a mug by magic. Gluck had freed him from that enchantment. Enchantment means effect of magic. Now children, here the king of the golden river told Gluck that I know that you are not happy here. I was watching over you, my boy. The golden dwarf went on to say that he had seen how kind Gluck was and how wicked and cruel his brothers were. He also told him that he knows how Gluck loved the treasure valley and the golden river. Then he told Gluck a secret. He further said, if anyone poured 3 drops of holy water into the river where it started on the mountain top, the river would turn to gold for that person. He further said that a person could try this only once, and if anyone puts unholy water in the river, he would be turned into a black stone. So saying this, the dwarf jumped back into the furnace and disappeared. When Gluck told this to his brothers, they did not believe him at first and beat him. But Gluck stuck to his story. So at last, they believed him and began to fight over who should have the first chance to go to the Golden River. They fought so much that the police came to see what had happened. Hans ran away when the police came, but Schwartz was caught and put in prison. Hans was happy that Schwartz was in prison. The very next morning, he went to the church, stole some holy water, and set off for the mountain. It was not easy to climb the mountain. He was tired and thirsty. Soon Hans thought he would drink some of the holy water himself. Just as Hans raised the flask of water to his lips, he saw a little puppy on a rock. It looked as if it was dying of thirst. Hans only pushed the animal away with his foot, drank some water himself, and passed on. The climb now became more difficult. Hans felt thirsty again. He was going to drink some more of the water when he saw a little child on the rock ahead of him. The child was lying lifeless, his lips parched and burning. Parched means very dry. Ignoring the child, Hans drank some more water himself and passed on. The climb had now become very difficult. Somehow, Hans reached the top of the mountain from where the golden river sprang. A faint cry fell on his ears. Then he saw a weak old man stretched on a rock. "Water," the man said. "Water, I am dying. I need water." "I have no water for you," replied Hans. He jumped over the old man's body and ran to the river. The sun was about to set. The river shone golden in the light of the setting sun. Hans threw the flask of holy water into the river. But alas, the river did not turn to gold. Instead, there was only a black stone where Hans stood. When Schwartz returned from prison, he took some of Gluck's money and bought some holy water from a bad priest and set out for the Golden River. While climbing the mountain, Schwartz also saw the fair child and the old man dying of thirst and passed on without giving them water. As he climbed a little higher, he saw his own brother Hans stretched on a rock asking for water. But the wicked Schwartz only laughed aloud and went on without giving him any water. Alas, when he cast the flask into the stream, he was turned to stone. Their younger brother Gluck was worried. Gluck waited and waited for his brothers, but they did not return. He went to a good priest who willingly gave him some holy water. At last, he decided to visit the Golden River himself. Gluck was young and small, and he found the climb very difficult. After he had climbed for an hour or so, he became very thirsty. He was about to drink some water when, like his brothers, he also saw an old man. The old man walked towards Gluck, leaning on a staff, and asked for some water. Staff means a long, thick stick, which was used by the old man for support. Gluck saw that the old man was pale, tired, and thirsty, so he gave him the bottle of water. The old man drank up nearly 2/3 of the water. Then he returned the bottle and wished Gluck well. Gluck did not have any water himself, but as he went on, his path became easier. After climbing for a long time, he became thirsty. He saw a small child. Gluck was sorry for him and gave him some water. The child began to smile, got up and ran down the hill. Now only a few drops of water were left in the bottle. When Gluck came close to the mountain top, he was very thirsty himself. Just then, he saw the poor little pup that was dying of thirst. I must help it now, thought Gluck. The puppy needs water more than I need gold. Otherwise, it may be too late. So Gluck poured the remaining drops into the little dog's mouth. The little puppy drank all the water. The dog sprang up, and in his place stood the king of the golden river. He was pleased with Gluck. The king put in Gluck's bottle some dewdrops from the petals of a lily. Then he told Gluck to cast it into the leaping river. After this, the king disappeared. Gluck did so, but the river did not turn to gold. However, it changed its course and began to flow through the treasure valley, making it rich and fertile once again. His barns were always full of corn and he never lacked for money. By this, we come to an end of the story. So children, the moral of this story is that goodness and love for God's creation will always triumph over selfishness. Here, the writer John Ruskin tells us that greed for money was the root cause of the evil in the Black brothers' characters, Hans and Schwartz. We also saw how Gluck was rewarded for his kindness. Now, let us revise the meanings of the difficult words in the lesson. Children, please repeat after me. Enterprise, activity or business. Crucible, a container in which something is heated to a high temperature. Children, I hope you are repeating after me. Tilted, moved into a position where one side is higher than the other. Dwarf, an imaginary creature that looks like a small man. Enchantment, effect of magic. Parched, very dry. Pray, please. Staff, a long thick stick. Students, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson and understood the topic. Keep learning and keep growing. Thank you.